Hey everyone, welcome back to the Game Talkies. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating. Those AA games that came tantalizingly close to perfection. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those games that sit in that sweet spot between indie passion projects and massive AAA blockbusters. Before we jump in, let me clarify something important. AA games typically work with budgets ranging from a few million to tens of millions of dollars, significantly more than indie projects, but nowhere near the $100+ million budgets of AAA titles. What's really interesting is that indie games generated nearly $4 billion in gross revenue on Steam in the first 9 months of 2024 alone, making up 48% of all full game revenue, showing just how competitive the space has become. The thing about AA games is they often take bigger creative risks because they don't have shareholders breathing down their necks demanding the next Call of Duty clone. But sometimes, just sometimes, there's that one little thing holding them back from true greatness. Let's explore 10 games that were almost there. Number 10. Sifu. Starting our list is Sifu from Slow Clap. Man, this game is something special. The combat system is absolutely phenomenal. It's like watching a Jackie Chan movie where you're the star. Every fight feels cinematic, every dodge perfectly timed, every combo devastatingly beautiful. The aging mechanic? Pure genius. Getting older as you die, becoming more powerful but more fragile, it's storytelling through gameplay at its finest. But here's the thing that keeps it from masterpiece territory. It's essentially the same handful of levels on repeat. Now don't get me wrong, the roguelike structure works, but imagine if Sifu had the variety of levels that a traditional action game offers. Picture twice as many unique environments, more boss fights, different martial arts styles to master. The foundation is rock solid, but the house could have been bigger, you know? Number 9. The Alters. 11-bit studios really swung for the fences with The Alters. The premise alone is wild. You're making clones of yourself with different life experiences, each with unique skills and personalities. It's like having an existential crisis while managing a survival base. The narrative hooks you immediately. Watching your various selves interact, argue, and work together creates this weird emotional connection you don't expect. The survival mechanics feel familiar but fresh, wrapped in this gorgeous sci-fi presentation. But those invisible enemies near the end, they're absolutely infuriating. Nothing kills momentum like losing an entire day's worth of progress to something you can't see coming. It's a small issue in an otherwise brilliant game, but sometimes small issues feel bigger when everything else is so polished. Number 8. SOMA. SOMA deserves way more recognition than it gets. Frictional Games created something truly special here, a horror game that's more interested in making you think than just making you jump. The underwater research facility setting is perfect. It's isolated, claustrophobic, and mysterious all at once. The story explores consciousness and identity in ways that will keep you thinking long after the credits roll. It's genuinely thought-provoking horror, which is rare. The gameplay itself is solid, the stealth mechanics work well, the pacing is spot on, and the atmosphere is thick enough to cut with a knife. But here's the thing, it's still very much in that defenseless protagonist mold that can frustrate some players. A bit more player agency in dealing with threats might have pushed it over the edge into masterpiece territory. Number 7. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Before Microsoft bought Obsidian, Deadfire represented the peak of the CRPG renaissance. This game came out during that magical period when developers realized people actually wanted complex story-driven RPGs again. The writing is exceptional, exactly what you would expect from Obsidian. The world building is intricate without being overwhelming. The character progression systems strike that perfect balance between depth and accessibility. It's everything you want in a classic RPG. But the ship combat, though, it feels tacked on, like someone decided they needed a unique selling point but didn't fully commit to making it great. The naval exploration concept is brilliant, but the execution needed more time in the oven. Still, it's a minor complaint about an otherwise fantastic game that deserved way more attention than it received. Number 5. Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is probably the most universally praised game on this list, and for good reason. It's a masterclass in environmental storytelling and puzzle design. The 22-minute time loop mechanic creates this perfect sense of urgency and discovery. What makes it special is how progression works entirely through knowledge. You're not getting stronger or finding better equipment, you're getting smarter. Understanding how this miniature solar system works, learning the patterns, piecing together the mystery, it's incredibly satisfying. But here's the catch. It can be brutally frustrating when you're stuck. Missing one crucial detail can leave you wandering aimlessly for hours. The open-ended nature that makes it brilliant also makes it potentially overwhelming for players who prefer more guided experiences. It's so close to perfection, but that accessibility barrier keeps it from reaching everyone it deserves to reach. Number 4. A Plague Tale: Requiem. The Plague Tale series does something remarkable. It creates AAA-level emotional impact on a AA budget. The story of Amika and Hugo is genuinely heartbreaking and beautifully told. The rat swarm technology is still jaw-dropping years later. Visually, these games punch way above their weight class. Some moments rival anything from major studios. The relationship between the siblings feels authentic and drives everything forward perfectly. But the gameplay, it's serviceable. It works fine, but it never quite reaches the heights of the presentation and story. The stealth mechanics are adequate, the puzzles are clever enough, but nothing feels as polished as the narrative elements. It's like having a Ferrari body with a Honda engine. Still good, but you can feel the missed potential. Number 4. Desperados III. Mimimi Games created what might be the best tactical stealth game ever made with Desperados 3. The level design is brilliant. These massive, intricate playgrounds where every guard placement feels intentional, every route carefully crafted. The character abilities complement each other perfectly. The quick save and rewind features are quality-of-life improvements that should be standard in every stealth game. It's mechanically flawless. The problem? It's incredibly niche. This is a game for people who want to spend 20 minutes planning how to eliminate 3 guards. It's methodical, slow, and unforgiving. If you're not already a fan of this style of gameplay, Desperados 3 won't convert you no matter how brilliantly designed it is. Number 3. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Here's a game that came out of nowhere and absolutely floored everyone. Sandfall Interactive's debut title does something that Western developers have been trying to accomplish for decades. It makes a JRPG that actually feels like a JRPG. The battle system is innovative without abandoning tradition. Adding dodging and parrying to turn-based combat sounds simple, but it completely transforms the experience. The French voice acting adds this unique flavor you don't get anywhere else in gaming. The environments are stunning, the music is incredible, and the story doesn't waste your time with padding. It feels both nostalgic and fresh simultaneously. For a debut game from a new studio, it's almost unbelievably polished. The only thing keeping it from Master Q status is that it's still finding its own voice. You can feel the developers figuring things out as they go along. Number 2. Unicorn Overlord. Vanillaware finally made their most accessible game with Unicorn Overlord, and it's fantastic. Combining real-time tactical combat with RPG exploration creates this addictive loop that's hard to put down. The unit variety is incredible, there's constantly something new to unlock, experiment with, and master. The difficulty curve is perfectly balanced, challenging without being punishing. It's the tactical RPG that doesn't hate casual players. The writing isn't quite at the level of genre classics like Final Fantasy Tactics, but honestly, who cares? The core gameplay is so well designed and enjoyable that story becomes secondary. This is Vanillaware's most complete package, and it deserves to find the wider audience it's clearly designed for. Number 1. Yakuza 0. Topping our list is Yakuza 0, and honestly, calling this AA might be controversial, but consider when it came out. The series was still struggling to find its Western audience, the budget was clearly more modest than later entries, and it had that scrappy, experimental feel that defines great AA games. The 1980s setting is perfect. Bubble-era Japan gives this fascinating backdrop that's both exotic and oddly relatable. The dual protagonists work brilliantly, especially Majima's storyline, which might be the best character arc in the entire series. The money-based leveling system is genius, risk versus reward in its purest form. Mr. Shakedown wandering the streets creates this constant tension that elevates even simple exploration. The tone perfectly balances serious crime drama with absolute absurdity. What keeps it from absolute perfection? Maybe it's too good for its own good. Yakuza 0 set a bar so high that subsequent entries struggle to match it. It's a masterpiece that almost makes the rest of the series look lesser by comparison. The AA space is fascinating because it represents pure creative ambition meeting practical constraints. These games typically work with budgets between a few million to tens of millions of dollars, forcing developers to be incredibly smart about where they spend their resources. What I love about every game on this list is they chose to excel at specific things rather than trying to be everything to everyone. Sifu focused on combat, SOMA on storytelling, Outer Wilds on puzzle design. That focused vision is what makes them special, even when certain elements don't quite reach the same heights. The gaming industry needs more AA games like these. They take risks that AAA games can't afford and have resources that pure indie games don't have. They're the perfect breeding ground for innovation and creativity. What do you think? Did I miss any games that were almost masterpieces? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's hidden gems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.